Hi, my name is Archita. I'm going to be talking about the U Chicago News article. So this article had talked about how algorithms were replicating human biases, and how algorithms are now helping humans make decisions. So the study made by Cal and U Chicago had identified racial biases in the particular healthcare algorithm. So how are not necessarily bad or good, but it's about how they are created and the factors that they take in. So within the prediction algorithm, this health algorithm had used existing systems that had created further discrepancies. It had found the sick based on the amount of money they had spent on them, not based off of who was most sick. So this is already a racial difference that is created within the healthcare system, and it was emphasized using this algorithm. I particularly had used an algorithm for the opioid hackathon, in which I had shown patients on what doctors they should go to for help. And this algorithm was based off of ratings and experience, and was based off of existing information. So I want to make sure in the future that I don't want to fall into these biases as well. So this makes me wonder, aside from healthcare, are there any pitfalls like in education prediction algorithms and the use of machine learning? So this is something I'm going to look into further.
Crowdsourcing is defined as the process of obtaining needed services, ideas, or content by soliciting contributions from a large group of people, and especially from an online community, rather than from traditional employees or suppliers. Label quality and learning model quality are important concepts in this field. Label quality is the accuracy that the labels of objects derived from the crowdsourced labeling match to true values. Learning model quality is the prediction performance of a learning model which is trained by crowdsourced data set throughout a supervised learning algorithm. There are two ways to improve the label quality of the crowdsourced data. The first one is the quality control and task designing, where a mechanism is introduced to regulate the behaviors of labelers. The second one is throughout ground-truth inference algorithms. They use repeated labeling to improve the label quality.
So there are 5 challenges of crowdsourcing. The first problem is that the expertise and dedication of non-expert labelers are different from one another. Statistical characteristics are vague, and this throws off the accuracy of the model. The second problem is that crowdsourcing has an open nature. This means that not all historical information of participants can be obtained. The third problem is that the quality control in crowdsourcing is difficult. Some sources have excellent quality, while others are debatable. The fourth problem is that phenomenon of biased labeling is widely spread. This is caused by differences in expertise level between sources and the scale that they use. The detection level is quite difficult, and the bias has negative effects on the model and the algorithm. The fifth and final problem is that both spam and adversarial labelers may exist. Spammers usually provide fixed labels to most objects, while adversarial labelers intend to provide error labels even though they know which ones are right. The two kinds of labelers are very harmful to the quality of collected data. Some studies do try to remove the data, but detections are inefficient and conservative.
Conclusion and prospects. Crowdsourcing has alleviated the contradiction between the demand of the learning model and the deficiency of the training data. Some problems worth noting and studying for include more fine-grained inference methods, more learning models, more deeply relationship between the label quality and the learning model quality, and theories of learning from crowdsourced labeled data.
So in the article Healthcare Prediction Algorithm Bias Against Black Patient Study Finds, it talks about a study published in October 25th, which found a racial bias in software used in the healthcare industry. And this software program determines who gets high-risk healthcare management programs, but they found out that algorithms encode racial bias by using healthcare costs to determine patient risk. And they found that it also lets more white people into the programs than the blacks, who are much less healthy than the whites. Roots of algorithmic bias. Many private companies design these prediction algorithms, so it's difficult for data scientists and researchers to analyze them. And algorithms were trained to find the sickest of those who we spent the most money on rather than those who were physiologically sick, which is why more whites were admitted. And after fixing disparities between blacks and whites, the percentage of black people in the automatic enrollee group jumped from 18% to 47%, which was almost a 30% jump. And I personally think that algorithms definitely make things much more efficient, but the way it's built must be carefully executed to avoid these problems that algorithms were originally meant to prevent.